Hello guys, welcome to very anticipated video. Today we are going to compare two high-end liquid foundations from Prada Beauty and Christian Louboutin. As you already know, if you watch my channel, I do have some experience with the new, actually this is one of the newest releases, Prada foundation, and the brand new foundation that just came out from the Louboutin, and initially wanted to compare this foundation with the Prada to see one against each other. And you know what, this was scheduled to film for tomorrow actually, but somehow I managed to do this review today, so I'm so excited. Before we continue with the application, I have nothing on my skin. I just did my regular cleansing. I'm not gonna use any primer. The only thing I will use, because the Louboutin foundation doesn't have the SPF, where in the Prada foundation we do have SPF 17. Either way I will use this is Clarins, it's Dry Touch Sun Care Cream, and this is having really high protection of a 50. So even though it's winter time, especially if it's summertime, you guys, regarding of what's going on with my makeup, I do love to use sunscreen underneath. So that is what I am going to do. And just a quick recap when it comes to these two foundations. I just wanted to quickly go through each individual foundation. So when it comes to Prada Beauty, this is the packaging that it came in. So the shades, before anything, the shades that I'm going to compare from Prada Beauty, it is shade MN45, which right away I'm going to tell you this is going to be dark on me, unfortunately, but we'll manage. This is just for the test purposes, so that you can see the difference one next to each other. And the other one is in NW15, which is creamy nude. Both of them have 30 milliliters and they do have 12 months shelf life. Prada Beauty made in France and Louboutin made in Italy. When it comes to bottles, when it comes to packaging, so this is obviously from Prada and this is from Louboutin. When it comes to packaging itself, so this right here is plastic. The good thing here is that this is refillable, so you can, when you're purchasing your next shade, you can keep the packaging and you can just refill your shade. Great. If you want to use it like this, you cannot close it, so you definitely need the bottle. But my issue with this packaging, even though I'll just say I love both packaging, but why I'm leaning towards this one, even aesthetically, but practically, this is really heavy. Like, this is kind of some metal surrounding this this cap, which it does have its logo on it and it's gorgeous even right here. But this, especially because this is now really empty, kind of, because I'm using it really a lot. This is plastic, and what happens, unfortunately, when the product is in here, it's fine, like the balance, but when you put this heavy cap on, especially now when it's empty, it keeps on falling, and that is something that it's really inconvenient. It's not practical. Where here we have glass, we have pump, plastic cap that is really lightweight. You cannot compare these two in weight either way. So anyways, regular bottle. And that's why I am really leaning towards this one a lot. And that's one thing that, like I mentioned, it's really unpractical. Now let's switch to the shades. Let me show you Prada next to this one. So this right here is Prada foundation in shade MN45. You can see how it's thinner in texture and also liquidy, where compared to Louboutin foundation, it literally sits in place like a little bubble, and it's not heavy, it's airy, if I can describe it that way. Once you blend it, I wish I have the same really close undertones and the shades, but like I mentioned, during summer I was so way darker than I am right now. But the undertone of this shade is gorgeous from Prada, but I also love this undertone from Louboutin. Picking the shades was from each brand, it wasn't the easiest thing. And I mentioned that especially in my last Louboutin video, and I describe how it was easier for me to choose, and hopefully that will help you, or the reference the specific shades that you see right now for you to choose for yourself. I wished that this shade was a little bit more neutral. I wish they have 15 neutral. I would choose that one. They didn't have, so this was the closest that I wanted, and it's not too bad. It's okay. I just wish it was a little bit less yellow, like I mentioned. I will also do a transfer test. And before I continue with my application, Prada foundation MN45. It does have neutral undertone and this is medium neutral undertone, and this is their skin optimizing foundation. In description, it says that unifies skin with an all-day soft, matte, seamless, and flexible coverage. And it also says that over time it improves skin look and that skin feels moisturized, diffusing a healthy glow. Now, this is like a medium coverage. This, you can build up this one as a full coverage, but this is not heavy. They both, like, they feel kind of a lightweight, which is what I do love when I want a little bit more coverage. When it comes to Louis Vuitton foundation, that is a long wear flawless foundation, luminous matte finish with 24-hour comfort. Now, it may be a little bit confusing. How can be matte luminous? It's not, it doesn't dry fully matte, and it's something that I love. Like, you can still see a kind of a little bit of glow coming through, but it's nothing highlighty, nothing too much, too crazy. Let me just pull my hair back and we'll start with the application. I will start with this side, and I will start with my Prada foundation, trying to see if this one oxidizes. So both of them, if they oxidize, it's not visible whatsoever. Like, it can be the bare minimum of oxidization. So what I am going to do, just use, it's going to be dark, but I will manage. So this is Prada foundation MN45, and I will apply foundation one step at a time, and also I will use my beauty blender. But you know what? This is my favorite technique. Like, apply foundation, not all over my face if I'm using foundation, but one step at a time. Diffuse everything, let the skin soak everything, and then work each segment. And then I also, of course, I do love to use my beauty blender. It soaks everything that's unnecessary. Maybe it's the easiest thing for you to start from when you're applying foundation, from the middle and spread everywhere, because that way you know where you applied your foundation. And plus, especially with the high end, especially with the super expensive foundations, you do not want to waste any product if possible. You know what? Actually, okay, I'm a bit confused now. How this blended so well into my skin? Yeah, I didn't confuse. Wait, okay. Like, that's foundation. I can clearly see the difference. You know what? I really, really, really love this undertone. For me, personally, I'm loving it. So I'm having like 2 pumps right here. It's not gonna be that bad as I thought, like too super dark. You can see that mainly where my neck area is, that's for sure. Also wanna make sure that I cover everything. It will be the worst thing, especially if you are having shade that is not perfectly matching you, to skip something, you know, and then you would see like patches and difference in color, your skin color, and then the product. Also ears, always. I know I'm probably said it like 100 times, but super important. I am gonna use one more pump, whole pump. I have to tell you, like, recently I've been testing the new Louis Vuitton foundation, but I'm gonna tell you that this is the formulation that I absolutely, absolutely love. I'm loving this. And like, this is not my skin tone at the moment, but if you want to achieve different skin tone or different depth that is not currently matching where you are at the moment, this is actually great, because this can blend so beautifully. Like, you can see the difference, And if you just, like, if you would just look at this side, like, would you think that this is not my skin tone? Like, it blended so beautifully, you know? And the difference, I don't know how much camera can actually pick this up, but it's in real life, it's looking good. And even it's looking even more healthier than this that is super, super light. I will also apply it today as my base. I'm not gonna do like nothing too crazy with my eyes, sorry, my eyes, with my eyeshadow, with my eye look. I will avoid this area right here underneath my eye because I will apply corrector and concealer. I don't want to have too much of the product, and this already kind of set and dried, so I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender just to take off any excess, which there always will be, especially in the beginning. You can definitely go more when it comes to layer, but I'm just gonna use whatever I have. Just wait a second. I'm having foundation all over my hands. This just reminds me how beautiful this finish is. This is something that I would definitely repurchased. Even though we're not doing wear test, I've been using this foundation. Just again, remind me, definitely one of the best releases when it comes to foundations that I've tried from 2023. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. I'm just trying to give you the most information so that I can, that hopefully will be valuable to you. That's all. This is gorgeous. Let's go. So one last step with the beauty blender, just to pick up if anything is left, and we're good to go with the other side. Let me clean my brush. And now let's move on to a Louboutin foundation. As you can see, way lighter, and it feels more high coverage. When you blend it, like I mentioned in my first impressions video review, when you blend it, you can definitely build it up, but it's not heavy. It doesn't feel heavy, and you know, it's more on the lightweight side, I would say, which is kind of weird for a full coverage. I'm having one pump here. Let me just cover. Like I mentioned, I will leave this area without anything, one step at a time. And again, as you can see, it is really like it's covering, and this is just one layer. It's a bit harder to paying attention to where my line of these two foundations is. But again, if I want to cover, like truly cover anything on my face, I will use concealer for that spots. Neither of these foundations is like super able to cover the discoloration. Like you would need a lot of the product, but then when I tap, it's still gonna remove, you know. So I need a concealer for that, which is again having different thickness, and it will do the job. I am going to take the excess off and repeat the process with my beauty blender. And I will also apply product here to not leave any like spots without the foundation. Let me just wait a minute for this to sit on my face and see the transfer test between these two, and also what is happening with the finish. Well, hopefully my beauty blender picked up everything. Now I am going to do transfer test. So I know for the Louboutin that, I don't remember if I've done this for Prada. I don't know if it claims to be transfer proof. By the way, the Prada foundation made for all skin tones and skin types, including sensitive skin, and 6 years of research. That's a lot when I think about it. Okay, let me see. Sticking, but once again, I don't think I can see anything. And on this side, Prada. Wow, still. Also, this one is transfer proof as well. That's good. Anyways, now when it's been set and kind of fun, it's not dry, it's the skin soaked the product. What do I think like this? Which one do I personally prefer? FYI, I do have like really dry skin. No matter what I apply on my face, I always feel I can have more moisturize, like I can always more moisturize my skin. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Honestly, you guys, for when it comes to finish, do you know which one I prefer? And this is just, we're talking just about the finish. Which one do I prefer? This one. I really do. This is still great. It gives a little bit more coverage. As you can see, this one is much more liquidy. But in texture, they come like when you blend them really close together, and this is my personal preference. They both feel fine, but this one is, for me, it's a winner. Now we're gonna do the test, and I'm going to apply the rest of my makeup, and I will check in throughout the day, and I will just give you a close-up so you can see them better. One side with the Prada Beauty and the other one with the Christian Louboutin. It's been around 3 hours mark since I finished my makeup. I did apply finish off my lip. When it comes to skin, the glow that is here, I just added up a little bit of this Pixie Glow Radiance Perfector. I really love this one. Yeah, and just a little bit of contour, and I set my face ever so slightly just to have the perspective of these foundations. One thing I forgot, I'm gonna do it now. I did apply a little bit of powder so that everything can absorb everything. I just wanted to check in really quickly. Again, I didn't go too heavy with my foundation. Yeah, I really do love, me personally, even when everything sits on my skin absorbs everything. I really do prefer the Prada side, not just because of the undertone. I thought if anything it's gonna be just distracting me of loving it because it's not my shade at the moment. I don't know, definitely I do love this side. It's hard to say on camera. I'll say they are both really close, but at the end it's going to, the deciding factor probably be your personal preference. They both feel lightweight, so that's good, but definitely Prada sits on my skin a bit better. And also one of the factors may be their shade range that they have. Are you going to be able to pull the perfect shade for yourself from either of this brand, you know? You know what? So far, so good. Let me see if I have any transfer, but now everything is set, so it shouldn't be like I have nothing here. Nothing here, as you can see, or even here. So that is still good. I'm gonna go out now and I will check in with you in I think couple of hours to see if there is any difference, you guys. Today we are just keeping everything simple and like kind of a really fresh when it comes to look for today. I think this has been around 6 hour mark and I've been running around all the time. I was outside and everything. And everything pretty much looked the same. Like the skin did soak up a little bit of the product, but I didn't go heavy on my powders. My hair is a mess. My final thoughts, these two products are, yes, they're expensive, high-end, luxurious product. And do I think that they are worth it? Honestly, I do. The difference between these two is, for you, probably going to be personal preference, as it is for me. If I would go and repurchase another bottle of, to have to choose between these two, at the end of the day, I think it will be this one. As I mentioned, even lately, I am into more and more into the, when it comes to skin products that are lightweight and they're no heavy. And both of these, they are not heavy. It's just that this one is a tiny bit more sitting better on my skin and being a little less coverage, which I really do love. So that's my personal preference. And of course, the undertone, the tones that these brands have are different. The shade ranges will be different, so maybe that is something that is a like a crucial thing for you to choose between these two. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What you think about these products. Did you try any of these? Or if you have any questions, please let me know. If you missed full in-depth video first impressions review of either of this product, make sure to watch them right here. And guys, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for joining into this video, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.